Hey, Treasure and fans, Joe Big D back here again with another weekly news announcement. Those of you new to my channel, I try to do this every week, although I have not been good on it very much lately. Where I talk about what's coming new out on Blu-ray and DVD for the current week we're on, plus the new week coming up, plus anything majorly announced. And then I kind of go into a little bit extra if I've heard of any rumors or anything like that. I go into that extra afterwards. I am sorry, it has been probably, a 2-week hiatus since I put up a video. My family a couple weeks ago got some very devastating news. News we're still trying to process and try to work through. I don't really want to go into details about it right now because we're still in the midst of it. And we're still trying to figure out how we're gonna move on from this and how we're gonna be able to, what we're gonna do in the very near future. So it's a little bit rough. So but I did want to do a video today. I want to get the weekly news out there, and it's kind of a distraction for what we're going through, my family's going through right now. So I do have some good news coming out by way of movies and stuff like that. I also want to say that I have a couple movie reviews coming out later this week. One's going to be on one of the Dollar Tree movies that I picked up recently. I don't usually do reviews on Dollar Tree movies because for the most part I know they're not going to be the best. I have found a few here and there over the years that that are decent, but I really need to review this one. There's a special reason why I want to review this one, so I did. I have done a review for it, and I'll be posting it later this week. I encourage you to watch it. It is spoiler-laden, but I think you'll understand why. And so there's that. And then also later this week, we'll be posting a review with Cobb. Cobb and I sat down. We watched the new Mortal Kombat on HBO Max. It just actually came out on Blu-ray, DVD, 4K also. So we sit down and we each want to watch that. We're gonna do a little review on that. I thank you guys for watching those Cobb videos. Really, especially my nephew gets a real big kick out of it. It's something he and I can share together. I'm hoping someday, I have a niece too, his sister, which is a couple years younger than him. So they're not quite ready. My brother and his wife aren't quite ready to have her on a video yet, which I understand. And so eventually someday I'm hoping to get her up to that status too, and I will have her reviews up there too, which I think will be really cute because she's got a different, she's not the biggest movie fan, I think, but she's got some funny things to say about movies. So hopefully someday those will be coming out. But I do have a review with Cobb coming out later this week, and then hopefully by next week or the week after next, we'll get up to rolling. I've got some ideas. I got some movie sets that I've finished watching that I want to do reviews on. I also want to do some collection updates. I realized with a lot of time on my hands recently to think, I've remembered that I haven't done collection updates in a really long time. How my certain horror movie doing my Steelbook collection. I really haven't added too much to this recently, but in the earlier part of the year I did. So those will be coming out too. I just ask you please bear with me and thank you for sticking with me through all this. I really do apologize. I will tell you down the road a bit what's going on. Like I said, what's going on with my family, but at this moment right now, it's a very private matter we're trying to get through. There's a lot of things that are coming up really quickly that we're going to have to tend to that I need to get my focus on that. So please bear with me with that. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what came out this week, next week, and what's coming around. So just a small recap. Last week was a big week. So I do want to do a video on this too. Last week was the 55th anniversary of Star Trek, which anybody that's watched any one of my videos over the last 4.5 years would know that I'm a massive Star Trek fan. I have been since I was a little kid. You really can't see too much behind me right now other than there's right here is my Star Trek lamp. Right there is my Star Trek lamp. My Star Trek hat from the Giants game I went to. There's an Ewok right there. This side of the room is more on my wife's side, so that's more like, her stuff. But, if you looked over here a little ways, it's all Star Trek over here, a lot of it. So I'm a big fan. So I do want to do a video in regards to the 50th anniversary and celebrating that. I just need a little time on that. But I did pick up, because last week 2 big things came out last week, and by the grace of God, I had pre-ordered these down a while back. So I was able to get them, and thank God. So I did get the first one that did come out last week was Justice League. This is the Snyder Cut, the 4K Snyder Cut. I need to get this as part of my Justice League collection. It comes Star Trek, then Justice League. So, I needed to get this. I'm super happy to get this. Oddly enough, Cobb has not seen this. He's just as big as a DC fan as I am at this point, but he's not seen this yet. Probably because of the 4-hour time it's going to take to watch through the whole thing. But I did get this. Really stoked. I wish it was I didn't see the steelbook out there at all, but I did get the slipcovers. I got that. And then obviously the other thing that I got, and this was the no-brainer. You'd be surprised. I did get the Star Trek 55th anniversary 4K set. This is Star Trek 1 through 4. This is the motion picture, The Wrath of Khan, The Search for Spock, and The Voyage Home. I have watched the motion picture, The Wrath of Khan, and I just finished up yesterday. I think it was or day before yesterday. Search for Spock. I'm going to watch The Voyage Home later this week, and I will be doing a review of this entire box set next week. I can tell you this so far about this box set. There's been a lot of people out there been bashing it, saying it's not as great. I call bullshit, and I said it on that. This set, I've been blown away so far. So be on the lookout for my review of this set. So with that said, let's get into what's going on this week. So those two were last week's releases. Also, The Thing came out in 4K and Steelbook last week. Let's see here, and we also had the movie Great White that came out last week, which I really want to see. It's some shark movie. I love shark movies. I think they're awesome. I've been fascinated with shark movies since Jaws 2, which was actually the first shark movie I ever saw. My mom, when I was, I don't know, 7 years old, something like that, took me to the theater to go see that movie. I've talked about this before, but it scared the living daylights out of me. But ever since, I've been fascinated with sharks. I love sharks. Actually, Cobb loves sharks too. We're both big fans of sharks, specifically. We like all sharks, but great whites are our favorite. So yeah, I really want to see this movie now because I'm kind of curious. I see the trailer for it, so I'm really curious. So that was last week. This week we do have Shawshank Redemption coming out in 4K. There is a steelbook also. Best Buy exclusive steelbook. Although I've seen the Best Buy steelbook, I'm not a big fan of it. It uses a lot of purple in the background, and I think the 4K regular disc with slipcover looks a lot nicer. But there's a steelbook for that one. We do have Boss Baby Family Business coming out this week. The DVD, Blu-ray, and a 4K of that. We have Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters 4K coming out this week. And then obviously the big one this week was Black Widow. There's a 4K, a Blu-ray, a DVD, and there is a steelbook for that one. Fortunately, I probably, because of money constraints, won't be able to get that steelbook, which was kind of a bummer because I've got all the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in steelbook form. Hopefully I'll find it later on, but it is coming out today. It looks really cool. I gotta say, I'm a little bit miffed because I did see it. They put out, it's like Disney's not doing slipcovers for their Blu-rays anymore. Although I do think it's nice that the Blu-ray this time came in a red case. Was really nice, but it's kind of like you did all your movies, I guess because I'm a purist, and if I have one movie the same way, it's probably the reason why I really haven't, I don't have the money to get Conjuring out, but if I did, I probably still wouldn't buy the last Conjuring movie because I want one with a lenticular cover, because all my other Conjurings, plus my Annabelle movies, and La Llorona, they've all got lenticular slipcovers. I kind of like to keep things the same. It's like one of those things where it's like, which one of us is not like the other, and it's kind of a bummer. Like I just want them all the same. I'm really nitpicky about that. So, it's weird that they're not putting a slipcover on those things anymore. And it's not a big deal. It doesn't affect the movie or anything like that. It's just one of those things when you click something specifically because you like that, and then they go, yeah, we're gonna do that anymore. You're like, seriously? Can you put a few out, please? Anyways, it is coming out. The steelbook looks really cool. I gotta say, the outer cover, I haven't seen what the inner cover looks like yet. The inside of it looks like, but the outside looked really nice. I gotta say, I was very impressed. But that's it for this week. Now, next week being the 21st of this month, we do have Clockwork Orange coming out in 4K for the first time. There is an exclusive steelbook for that one by Best Buy. We have that Paramount Presents movie Breakdowns coming out next week. Those are really nice sets. I like the way they do those sets with the slipcover. Really nice, the fold-out page in it. It's really cool. We have Unbreakable coming out in 4K next week. Paramount is releasing a couple of older movies. The Longest Yard with this one's the Adam Sandler version. They're also releasing Necessary Roughness with Scott Bakula, Captain Archer from Star Trek. Also, yes, Quantum Leap. And so those two are coming out next week. We also have Bird on a Wire with Goldie Hawn and Mel Gibson coming out next week. Batwoman season 2 is coming out next week. I saw season 1. I have not seen season 2, so I can't really say whether or not it's good or not. I do know they just read recently they cast me to play Poison Ivy in season 3, so we'll see there. And then what else do we have here? I'm looking over my notes. Crocodile Dundee trilogy is coming out next week, so I have Crocodile Dundee 1 and 2 in a box set, but this is the third one also. The third one was like in Los Angeles or something like that, which was filmed several years later after the second one. It was okay, but the first two really, God, the first one, I remember the first one coming out in theaters. I remember how great it was. I was so excited to get it on VHS when it came out. Because I just love that movie. Just so neat, this guy from the Australian outback. It's funny because I visited Australia when I was 19, and and that movie had already come out by then, and it was fun to see kind of those areas where, like, oh, okay, I get this more now. This makes more sense, seeing Australia, hands on. So I do have a real love for the first movie. I've watched it probably a couple dozen times easily over the years. So not sure if I'll get this box set eventually or not, because the third one wasn't the greatest. We'll see. And then let's see what else we got. Oh, and then the big one obviously being F9 comes out next week. That's Blu-ray DVD. There's a 4K. There is a steelbook for that. I'm sure there'll be some big box set with all 9 movies in it. Recently saw that movie. Thought it was okay. I don't think it was the best in the series. There's some of the stuff that was just so outlandish that you're like, nah. But it is fun to watch those characters get together. And there's some really cool moments in that movie that I really did enjoy. Not the best in the series, but it was good. It was a good addition to the series. So that comes out next week. Also next week, 2 other movies coming out. We have Resident Alien Season 1. Great show. Alan Tudyk, who obviously was in the movie Serenity, and he's done various other things over the years. He's done the voice. He did the voice for the robot in iRobot. Really good movie by this alien who basically crash lands on Earth and has to assume to disguise as this doctor, and he's living in this small town. It's actually hilarious. He has this feud with this kid. I think it's like a 12-year-old kid, and they're always going back and forth. It's funny. And then Cruella comes out next week, and that will be on 4K Blu-ray. There's a DVD, and there is a 4K steelbook on that one as well. I believe there's also a digibook for Target as well on that one, and that comes out next week. Haven't seen that one, although I have to say that my brother and Cobb both really liked it. Cobb talks about it quite a bit, so we'll see. I think it's up on Disney Plus now, which we do have Disney Plus, so I may take a look at that. But that is it for this week and next week. Let's talk about some announcements. There's a lot of announcements because I haven't gone over a couple things in a few weeks. There's a lot of announcements. So let's just get started. I'll start from the top and work my way down. Don't Breathe 2 comes out on the 26th of October, so next month, Blu-ray DVD. Not sure on 4K on that one. We do have Escape Room 2 coming out next month on the 5th, it looks like, October 5th. Blu-ray DVD. I didn't see any 4K on that one, but the first one wasn't a bad movie. I don't know about this one because I didn't even hear about this one until it actually hit theaters. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm not really sure about that one. The first one was kind of fun, though. We'll see. We also have T2, the 30th anniversary collector set coming out, 4K. This is a remaster. It's a remaster of the 4K they put a couple years ago, which they did not do a good job on. It's hard to find a video anywhere or review anywhere that doesn't bash the T2 4K that's already currently out now. It really felt like it was a rush job. So they've gone back and remastered it again. I mean, how many times are they going to release Terminator 2 anyways? So that is coming out, and that will be out later this year. We have Josie and the Pussycats coming out the 21st of this month, so that'll be actually next week. It's a really cheesy movie, but I actually enjoy it. But I enjoy more not just the Josie and the Pussycats. I enjoy the other group that's in the movie. That's De Jour, which Seth Green is one of the members of De Jour. And some of the songs, they got like the Backdoor Lover song that I think is just absolutely hilarious. So I do enjoy that aspect of it. When I used to work at Suncoast back in the day, I used to put that movie on a lot to play. The music's pretty good in it. Let's see here. We also have Sex and the Series, the complete series on Blu-ray coming out the 2nd of November. I'm assuming because the revamp of the series, they're bringing the series back, so of course we're going to have that out. The Green Knight comes out the 12th of October, Blu-ray DVD. I'm not sure on 4K on that one yet. Vanilla Sky 20th anniversary sets coming out the 16th of November. That's the movie with Tom Cruise. I remember my wife and I went to go see this in theaters. This is when we first started dating. And I remember we sat through the whole movie and just had this blank look on our face, like, what did we just watch? Neither one of us liked it. Now, I have not seen it since that theater, since it was in theaters, so I probably eventually should go back and watch it again. But I just remember not liking it. And I can't, for the life of me, because it's been 20 years, I can't for the life of me remember why. I just remember thinking, I remember being really bored. And I remember just walking out of the theater going, man, I feel like I want that 2 hours back. So, that does come out on the 16th next month. The Colony comes out the 12th. I heard that's a pretty good horror flick. I don't know. So I'm anxious to check that out. Blu-ray DVD. Then we have Crybaby 4K coming out early next year. Interesting title to put out on 4K, but that is coming out early next year. This one I was super excited about. It is actually one of my all-time favorite movies from the 80s. I used to watch this movie all the time, even though I was a kid during them. It was rated R. They used to play on HBO and Showtime all the time. And that is Night Shift. That is Michael Keaton and Henry Winkler in it. It's about these two guys that work at the city morgue and how they end up running a prostitution ring out of the city morgue. And it's absolutely hilarious. Michael Keaton is on point. Henry Winkler is amazing in that movie. Was it, oh, gosh darn it, oh, I can't remember her name. That's driving me nuts. She was on Cheers. She played Diane on Cheers. You know who I'm talking about. So leave me a comment down below and I'll remember it later on. But she's in it. But it's a really just fun movie. I mean, it's over the top in a lot of ways. But it also has a pretty good message underlining too. So I'm super excited about this coming out. It actually comes out on the 5th of next month. I can't wait to own that movie. It really, truly is one of my favorite movies. I just watched it a few months ago too. It's one of those movies where if I'm really feeling down, I can put it in and it'll always make me laugh. There's a couple scenes in that movie that's always been... They're mostly Michael Keaton scenes, but he's so over the top in so many of those scenes that it's just fun to watch. There's a scene when he's driving. He's bought himself this like car. It's like a Cadillac. He's got the windows all tinted out. And he's like, man, nobody can see us in this car. And he's driving past a cop car. He's all, ooh, he's like he's snorting and drinking. Like, oh, we got girls, we got booze, we got drugs back here. And just the way he pulls it off as the cop car is driving by, it's just hilarious. So that does come out next month. Wolf of Wall Street 4K is coming out, and that'll be out the 14th of December. Interesting choice for a 4K, but should be pretty good. The movie Old, M. Night Shyamalan, I always say his name wrong. The latest movie that came out will be out on the 19th of next month. I really wanted to see that one. I'm a big fan of his. Yes, there's been a couple stinkers in there. My all-time favorite being Signs. Everybody always says Sixth Sense was the greatest. No, I actually like Signs the most. I loved Unbreakable. I liked Split. I've liked all of his movies. There is one, maybe two of them that aren't the best. Lady in the Water was not that good. But I do enjoy his movies, so I am looking forward to seeing that. Mad Max series. They've already released the first Mad Max movie in 4K. Now the Road Warrior and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome are coming out on 4K for the first time. They're both going to be out on the, I have down here looks like the 2nd of November. Both 4K for the first time. Extremely excited. I think out of the four Mad Max movies, I actually love the Road Warrior and Beyond Thunderdome the most. Now, don't get me wrong, the last Mad Max was a great movie, but it wasn't the Mel Gibson. It was kind of continuation with a new character. But I love Road Warrior. Such a great epic movie. I mean, oh man, it's just so many cool moments in that movie. And Beyond Thunderdome, I just love it. I still quote it all the time. I'll walk into a room, my brother-in-law especially, and I'll go, who runs Bata Town? And he'll go, Master Blaster runs Bata Town. It's just, I just love the movie. It's just a lot of fun, and they bring back a couple characters from from the Road Warrior, and it's just a fun movie. So I'm glad to see it's coming out in 4K. I have a feeling they'll look really good. So those are coming out. And then let's see here, make sure I got everything else for you guys. The last one I got to talk about is they have announced the Suicide Squad. Didn't surprise me. That will be coming out on the 26th of October. Blu-ray, DVD, 4K. There is a 4K Steelbook. The whole yards. I did a review with Cobb on this one. I'll leave a link below to that. Of course, I really enjoyed it. I really, really liked it. So, of course, that's a no-brainer. But that is it for what's coming on Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K this week, next week, and all the announcements. Again, be on the lookout later this week for a couple movie reviews. And yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Please take care and be safe out there. From experiences I've had recently at the hospital, that's not fun right now. Going to the hospital for anything other than COVID, you're going to be waiting a long time in line. That's what I experienced recently. So just please be safe and be careful out there. Always keep hunting because you never know what you're going to find. And as always, live long and prosper.